G'day, I'm Ben from Catch Pro Australia on the set of the most unprofessional and most biased podcast in the world. Lawn Care Skull Sessions with my co-host, the Bearded Lawnsman. How you going, Beach?
Good, bro. What's cracking?
It's like hot and humid right now.
It's so humid.
Which I'm not going to complain about. I like it.
We like my threads. I'm almost guaranteeing you're going to be seeing titty sweat by the end of this episode.
Yeah,
It's very...
You look like a member of the Bloods.
Fucking...
Can you throw up a West Side for the YouTube audience? Oh, yeah. What do you know? I'm a Crip today.
Oh, look at you.
Only at the backside. There's the Crip side.
I definitely would have grabbed a Singo, but my kid was still asleep in my bed in the air conditioning, lucky dude. And this was just hanging out in the lounge room because I took it off yesterday. Threw it on the couch like a true fucking bum. My missus wasn't very happy, but very convenient this morning.
Man, in the summertime, it's just singos all around.
Yeah.
So I've actually got some singlets coming from Moa Merch.
True.
Yeah, well, I don't know if anyone else can relate, but unless I'm like going out to like a shop or something like that, I can't like wear nice clothes at all. Yeah. At all around the house or anything because, you know, I'm always just doing something where, you know, I trash something.
Yeah.
And work singlets, I'm still wearing like 10-year-old Greenscape Solutions work singlets, which is, you know, doesn't trip on me at all, but they're all like, man, sun bleached and just all fucked up.
I've got chesty like blue wife beaters, the old chesty bond that literally I had when we met.
Well, I don't wear any of those bonds, like they're too hot.
They are really hot.
Yeah.
I don't wear them as much as I used to, but like at night, once I've had a shower, I'll just slap one of those on if it's too hot. But yeah, I was just fucking cruising around me jockeys last night. Fuck, she got hot. It was just so humid. I didn't want to put the aircon on because, I don't know, according to the bomb, we were going to get some rain, but never eventuated.
No, and I think there's like a chance of, storm today too.
Yeah,
So.
I don't know if it's going to bring any rain, but yeah, for a while there we were getting a few thunderstorms just randomly rolling through, but I don't know. We'll have to see. I don't trust them anymore.
And well, look, yeah, same with me. Like I'll just see it.
Yeah, I look out the window. I'm like, where fuck?
But apparently next week it's like all week supposed to be rain.
Yeah, that's gonna fucking be.
It'll be welcomed, I think.
Yeah, I think.
I just know it's a little bit like the sunshine for me. Like when the grass is green, I'm actually happier.
Yeah, fair enough.
I really am. So
yeah.
But
keep talking. I'm going to double check. I pressed record on the camera.
Oh boy, hopefully you did. Now for everyone.
Yeah, I did.
For everyone that's joining us, we have a bunch of reviews in place, and that's
Heaps
obviously due to the Lawn Shed competition.
Yeah, so
So it's great that people have wanted to be a part of that. Now BJ is going to read some interviews.
interviews?
Sorry, some reviews.
I knew what he meant.
Here I go.
Fucking hell, drinking for breakfast. All right, so where were we up to? We are up to Tyrone Cashin. So we read a few last week, but a bunch have come through. Ripper podcast, lads. As unprofessional as you guys are, you bring a ton of experience and knowledge to every episode. Your laid-back, unprofessional attitude and approach to every episode is a breath of fresh air amongst this seriousness in this world today. Thanks, Tyrone. We got one from Simu. Keeping my ears entertained for many episodes. Great podcast. Keep it up. Penis emoji. I'm guessing eggplant. Penis. Skag brag. This is from Burger. Love the show, boys, especially the episode about Jim's mowing. Cool. Oh, Jess Mops. Roll back in.
Jess Mop.
Yeah. This is a double entry. Holy fuck. Great work on the podcast, fellas. I listen every week. Let's keep it more controversial, please. Okie dokie.
Controversy is king.
That's it. Hutto 58. Still loving all the episodes. I'm very much still at the beginning of my business journey, and it's been great getting some insight on how other guys do things and don't do things. BJ has been a massive help for me behind the scenes. Well, I'll leave it there because I don't want to talk myself up too much. Thank you, sir. That was from Hutto. From Zuzu88. Yeah, I used to love double Ds. Now it's all double Bs. Ben and BJ, I like that. A top listen. Something we were missing in the Aussie space. Thanks, dude. And Jared D. Kelly. Highly recommend this podcast. It's great for a laugh and can learn a thing or two off them. Thank you very much, boys and girls. That's awesome.
And I also have to add to that by saying that I had a Catch Pro customer call me up during the week. There was an issue with an order or miscommunication, whatever, and we just got to chat, and it was the first time we'd talked. And, he sort of mentioned, he said, hey, I watch you guys on YouTube, and it's really, they've been in business for 12 months. And he said it was really refreshing and good to be able to access information that, instead of going to a seminar and, paying a whole heap of money and, doing things the formal way. So we really appreciate all of this feedback. And obviously, if you put a review here, you're in the running to win a little prezi from the Lawn Shed.
Oh, fuck yeah.
When are we drawing this?
When's it I'll give Ian a call this week and see, because we have to link up and find out who is actually also signed up under our account on the Lawn Shed.
Sure.
I know that a few people have messaged me and asked me about some of the products that I just got. Highly recommend Spearhead. Never used it before. Fuck, it's quick. Like, you see very quick results, or we did anyway at our site. So we did all of that aeration. We put down the triple play, which is a soil wetter, and then we hit it with Spearhead a couple of days later. And we went back, and it was fucking crazy. Like, it was beautiful growth. So very
Whenever
happy.
you say Spearhead now, I just think of obviously I can't say a name on air. That chick, remember Arrowhead? It's just when you said it on the phone during the last podcast, I was like giggling. It just Spearhead.
That's pretty wild.
So now we've got a fun episode today, but
Yeah.
before we do get there, I'm gonna this is a little bit shameful, but because it's like a parenting story.
Oh, okay.
But how's this? The other day we're sitting down and we weren't like at the dinner table, but we were sort of sitting down as a family. One of the daughters goes, "Hey, what's semen?"
Oh, fuck.
And my first immediate thing was, "That's it. No more TikTok." Vicky was fucking mortified.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
Anyway, we just I didn't really know what to say. My girls are turning 11 next week, and I just feel it's too young.
Yeah.
For them to be saying the word semen, right? Mm-hmm. Anyway, they reckon they slept at a friend's house and they had two older brothers that might be around 14.
Yeah, okay.
And I'm just like, oh, man, like, these are my girls, like,
Oh, dude.
But anyway, we sort of beat around the bush and we were like, look.
Did you have the birds and bees talk?
Not really, but we just said, it's got to do, when you're older and married and, things like that. And oh man, it was just one of those things where I was like, nah, get me out.
I'm out. I bought. I got a parenting story that'll fucking, it's fucked up. So it's not really a parenting story, but it's like a be aware parents. One of Chloe's friends almost was abducted the other day. Fucked up. Like, she kicked the dude in the nuts. He grabbed her. She kicked him in the nuts, and luckily she got away. But it's just like one of those things. Like, I've always been saying, like, I really want to put my kids into self-defense and things like that. Lucky this girl was a quick thinker. And look, this was a fucking public. It was one of the biggest intersections that I drive past every day, and that's where it happened. And I just feel so bad for the family. Like, they're not going to be sleeping well for a long time.
No, it's really fucked up. And like, I just never understood why people have ever been interested in kids. Like,
they're just
snatching them or just whatever.
They're just fucked in the head.
But anyway, let's bring on the good times and get away from this talk.
Yeah, Bo.
So I sort of came up with this episode topic about our own top picks, our own list of best zero turns in each, and using the category as a deck size.
Yeah.
As the sort of category. Now, I put a post on LMCA, and it seems like most of the comments didn't really understand the actual the actual point of the topic. A lot of people were saying like, oh, I think a 54 and a 48 is the best deck size to run.
Yeah.
That's not really what we're going to do. What we want to do is we want to go through the deck sizes and pick the best option in that deck size. Now, good old Nanky Panky who comes in his hanky. He immediately sort of chimed in with his little, whatever your best dealer's got, or rata. Now, look, we also believe that.
Yeah,
we do believe that, but like this list, there's going to be a ton of specialty mowers out there. Front deck mowers, rear discharge, all of these types of things that. All of this specialty sort of stuff, we're kind of pushing to the side. We
I didn't
acknowledge
look
it.
at diesel, nothing like that. I just looked at petrol.
We acknowledge it.
Yeah.
And there's we're certainly not taking away anything from those mowers.
Yeah.
They'll all get notable mention somewhere. But this is more of sort of like your all-rounder list.
Yeah.
If you do some acreage, or if you do some resi, or if you do some heavy block slashes, the choices here are sort of going to be able to cater to all of that. But
and I don't know if you found the same, but fuck me, this was a lot of time in the research, and to be honest, this week was probably one of the busiest weeks I've had. So a lot of late night, fucking sleepy eyed research.
I do want to put in a little disclaimer as well that an episode like this is not easy for someone like BJ who actually represents a company.
Yeah.
And, I saw heaps of comments, and I'm sure it's banter. But as we go through our list, we'll be able to justify our choices, and we'll tell you why. And we'll also tell you why certain mowers and certain models didn't really make the cut.
Yeah.
Anyway, without further ado, are you ready to get rolling, or do you want to add to it, or what?
Oh, look, I just want to say, obviously, I've got a lot of experience with Skag. I have been on a lot of mowers. Luckily, going to the GIE and doing a few different events, I've been on a fair few. So yes, I do represent Skag. Not every pick on here is a Skag, but there's going to be a fucking ton of cat's eye gold on my list. So and it's justified. I think, in my eyes.
Well, we can justify it as we roll.
And that's exactly why I said before, it was a ton of research. And look, if I fucked up and anyone thinks that I've made the wrong choice, definitely reach out and let me know.
I think something to note as well is that these are our picks.
Yeah. Not yours, so fuck off.
Yeah.
And look, to be honest, who the fuck is going to buy a machine? If you bought a machine and you were like, oh, yeah, I fucking love this machine, but there is a better machine out there, you're never going to say your machine is the shit one. People get fucking so defensive. Whenever I talk to people about Skag, I basically give them my experiences with the machines, then I give them the specs and where it sort of weighs up against other machines, and people can take it on board. Or
I mean, everyone.
That's
seriously, I have even gotten to the point, I'm not really a consumer of these machines anymore, right?
Yeah.
But, I'm sort of at the point where, sometimes, I might choose a machine based on its color.
Yeah.
Or appearance.
Whoa.
Just to be different.
Well, look, a lot of people do.
Yeah, so there really is so many, but I do think realistically, if you're looking at hard facts, specs, this list, you're going to want to pay attention to this list. So without further ado, we're going to kick this off with, BJ's turning dark red already.
Jesus. Yeah, look, I'm on my thermogenic, so my body is on fire right now, burning calories while I just sit here sipping on a coffee.
Well, I am already in a lot of pain right now with my lower back. If anyone wants to know why I don't use sit-down mowers, fucking jump on YouTube and have a look at me right now.
Or do you want a massage in front of everyone? And just hold the microphone really close to your face. So when I get real deep, you're like...
I'll do it if you give me a Nuru massage.
What is a Nuru massage?
Haven't you seen that?
No.
Um,
Am I looking this up straight away in the car?
look it up. It's fantastic.
Is it?
Yeah, I'd love to just be new rude.
What is it, Ben?
It's just like
I can't wait that long.
Well, I'm pretty sure it's like it's porn.
Like a butthole massage?
No.
Oh.
No, it's just like you just go to a place and have a shower with a lady.
Yeah.
They wash you down.
Yeah.
Then they give you like a really nice, relaxing massage.
Mm-hmm.
And then you do other stuff.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's like a noni massage for women.
Oh.
I think it's called noni or something like that. Google it.
Okay. I will. I will later.
I've shown Vicky a noni massage. She's like,
myself.
"No, I wouldn't be interested in that." And I was like, "Fuck off, Vicky." Anyways, let's get into this. So we're going to start off with the 32-inch deck size range. Now, the list isn't very exciting to begin with.
Yeah, it's not huge.
Because in the 32 range, there are some sit downs, but none of them even came up on my radar at all because you're looking at pressed decks and virtually toys.
And there's nothing wrong with press decks. They do live a nice cut, but realistically, they're on the very low spec compared to the dominant species.
Yeah, a press deck.
The standards.
You said there's nothing wrong with them. Look, a press deck, they do have a beautiful cut because they're sort of circular shape. They recycle a little bit better, but they're not considered anything. It would be like if you used a fucking, I don't know, a bloody something from Bunnings to trim a hedge.
Yeah.
Or, you know.
Exactly. Yeah. They do leave not too bad of a finish for like a fucking $3,000 mower. So,
So look, in this 32 range, you really only have a few options. We have the V-Ride, the Pro Stance from Gravely. I've got the Greenworks here, and we've got the Right Standard B. Now, was there any other 32s that jumped out in your head that are in the running?
No.
Okay.
I didn't even really look into the Greenworks. I wasn't really.
I put that there because obviously it's 32 inch.
And it's a smaller category, I think.
Yeah. So now for me, my choice here, clear winner is the V-Ride 32 inch deck. What did you have?
Is that a dig? No, of course I had the 32 inch V-Ride.
Yep. Now the reason why I went with the 32 V-Ride, when you take a look at these options here, spec for spec, the V-Ride, it is really above the pack.
Yeah.
Spec wise. Now, the Pro Stance, sorry, there was a fly fucking diving into me.
Having a little sippy sip.
Yeah. The Pro Stance and the Standard B, along with the Greenworks, man, these mowers cut great.
Yeah.
And they'll serve you in this 32 range. But if you're taking a look at spec wise, horsepower, the hydro, that 10cc,
the ground speed.
Yeah. So, without revealing too much, honestly, on my list, I have really looked at this at the hydros, along with the horsepower, and that has kind of tipped me over the edge.
Yeah, I wasn't so focused on hydros. Fuck, this is a worse shirt to wear.
Take it off.
Yeah, do you reckon I should?
Who gives a fuck?
Soon I'll take it off, and you can, or maybe we'll get cancelled off YouTube. I think I'm a woman for my big breasts. No, look, the 32s was a pretty easy pick for me because it's something that I've looked into a lot. And when people argue with me and they're like, "Oh, fucking this one does that," I'm like, "Well, fuck, dude. When it comes down to it, realistically, spec for spec, there's nothing that comes close to the V-Ride. It's an incredible machine. Like, I got to fuck around on mine yesterday. I don't get to see it very often because the boys have always got it out on the road.
Yeah, I think if people out there have the Pro Stance, or if they have the Standard B, this isn't something to get butt hurt by.
No, not at all.
Because there is also a fairly significant price difference in between these machines.
Yep.
But if you really had to nail it down and say what is the best 32-inch machine out there, you really can't go past the V-Ride. And if you don't recognize it, you are a hater.
Yeah.
It is true.
Yeah.
In this space, It is true.
It is.
So moving on to the 34 inch, I'm interested to see what you got, mate.
I picked the World Lawn Gator with a higher horsepower engine and faster ground speed. And the only thing that came
As opposed to
the Gravely Compact Pro was my honourable mention.
Yep.
It was a hard choice just because with dealer support with the Gravely is a bit more than the World Lawn. But if you're looking at the machines side by side, I feel like potentially the World Lawn is better value for money.
Okay, so I have so in this I only have the choices were the Gravely Compact Pro or the World Lawn Gator.
Yep.
I've personally gone with the Gravely Compact Pro. And the reason being was if you look at it spec for spec up against the World Lawn Gator, they're almost a mirror image, right?
Yeah.
Same hydros. Really durable decks. Did you say the World has higher horsepower?
Yes. Ugh.
Okay, cool.
Ugh,
So that is something to definitely note. Probably the biggest reason why I went Gravely. Now this is going to sound biased, but we know Gravely is represented by Power Up Lawn Care in Australia.
Yeah.
And they're going to have the best dealer network and the best backup spare parts.
100% right.
World Lawn, they don't engage a lot with the contractor market.
No.
Their dealer network is a bit smaller.
Honestly, there was two options, and they were both credible in the space, and that's why I went with the World Lawn just for the higher horsepower, higher ground speed. But dealer network Gravely fucking knocks them right off the pedestal.
So I think also we probably have to note that in this space, there is a time cutter 34 inch. And there would be some other sort of domestic, you got your Dash XDs, things like that. But really all of those mowers, time cutter included, they're just not on the same level as either the Compact Pro or the Gator.
Yeah.
So Gravely Compact. Oh, sorry. We've split it here.
We've done swapsies.
Yeah, so that's fine. All right, moving on to the 36 inch deck. Now I got to be honest. These next couple of deck sizes, I struggled really bad.
Dude, I fucking struggled with the whole lot.
And
32.
And I am going to just come out and say that I've actually chosen the 36 inch V-Ride again.
Yeah.
For the best mower that offers a 36 inch deck. Now, I want to put it out there that I actually tried my hardest to not choose the V-Ride in this situation. I really did.
How the fuck do you think I felt? I did my research as well. Like that, these are the hard ones because Skag have the deck sizes, and I was like, fuck, I don't want people to think like I'm just picking Skag all the way across.
It wouldn't matter even if you said those words right
now.
I
know. But no, I had exactly the same Skag V-Ride with a very honourable mention to the Ferris Z1. So I think that, and not the rear discharge number.
No, yeah. And look, I got to be honest, I was hunting. You having issues with flies?
Yeah.
I was hunting for, different brands to come and take this one.
Yeah.
And took a look at the Toro Grandstand.
Yeah.
Because I love the Grandstand, right?
Yeah.
But with a 15 horsepower engine, guys, I just couldn't.
Yeah.
I couldn't justify saying that a particular mower with a 15 horsepower engine is really going to line up against something that just offers more horsepower straight up. So
and some of the options along here are exactly the same. Like that'll pop up now and again on my list is the horsepower and the options that are offered.
Yeah.
There's some of the reasons why I moved towards some of these brands.
Now in this 36, there used to be some great mowers.
Yeah.
Bobcat used to have a 36 inch sit down that I thought was pretty good.
Okay.
I took a look at the Liberty. But even in its own brand, the Liberty just doesn't match up to the V-Ride.
No, the V-Rides.
There used to be a really good Hustler as well. That isn't. They don't have it anymore.
Oh, okay.
In the 36-inch deck.
Yeah.
There used to be like this little fast track thing. A 36-inch fast track was really great.
And the Super S didn't pop up for you?
Super S popped up, absolutely. But I love the Super S, the Hustler Super S. Now, if everyone remembers back, we did the market testing for that mower, and I absolutely love it. I give it a super high appraise.
Yeah.
The reason why I've had to choose V-Ride over the Super S is because on the 36 model, the V-Ride offers more area for the operator to stand on.
Yeah.
The Super S, it's great for someone like me who has really skinny pins, but if you're, a bigger dude,
like me,
I'm not even talking about you,
dude. I do.
I'm talking about someone who is still maybe even half your size.
It made me feel like Shakira. My hips were not lying when I was on the back of that. It was it was a tight squeeze.
Now, don't get me wrong. I had a worker, DJ, right?
Yeah.
Who was a pretty big dude.
Yeah.
Just big, not
but he's
fat,
not
big
fat
boned
or anything. Like he's
No, just big bone. Like he had stump legs.
Yeah.
Look, he used it. He got used to it.
Yeah.
But realistically, if you just get on those machines straight up, that Super S, it's one of the first things that you look at is, I haven't got a lot of room here. So I will also mention the 36-inch Gator. Oh, fucking hell.
Oh, she's swinging away.
Bloody hell.
Bloody
Not even my microphone wants me to talk right now. I'm going to mention the 36-inch Gator in this conversation because it is a player.
Okay. So here's one I completely missed. That didn't even come up on my radar.
No, that's all right. Look, it's running a 3100 hydro setup.
Yep.
And the 10cc pump and wheel motor hydros, they're just... I don't know if this is true. I'd love to have like a hydro expert on the show, but that pump and wheel motor system is just always going to be superior to me.
Yeah.
So, so the V-Ride 36 wins again. Now, 42-inch, Beach.
42-inch. That fly was fucking deep in Coffee Town. So 42-inch was a little bit harder because there was a lot of light commercial options, but I actually jumped onto the right intensity for the 42-inch.
And I'll tell you what, that's a smart choice.
Because she's a full commercial banger.
Do you happen to have a note there of what hydro? Must be 10cc.
No, I don't, but I think I'm pretty sure it's 10cc.
Yeah. Now, I'm a little bit disappointed in myself. I don't actually have an option here for the 42-inch.
Oh.
So
you just left it off?
No, I wrote down 6 mowers.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Look, I tried so hard.
Yeah.
I wanted Bobcat to win this.
Yeah.
Because Bobcat decks are very tough.
Yes.
And I think like if you're looking at, let's say, the Hustler XD, you can look at the Gravely, the Liberty is certainly in the mix.
Yep.
The Bobcat, its deck compared to the others is pretty heavy duty.
Yeah.
But the reason why I couldn't put it down as the clear favorite is they're all just running these fucking ZT 2800 hydros.
Yeah.
Which is...
Can you clickety-clack the computer there and find out what the intensities are running? Because now I'm...
yeah, I might have to go on to... Look, I reckon, personally, I reckon it's a 10cc.
Yeah, that's what I thought, but...
If we could get
wrong.
Fucking Gaza on the phone and phone a friend. So I'll actually also say, I actually phoned a friend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I called Will from Rosebud.
Really?
And I fucked up and didn't realise that they're an hour ahead of us.
Oh.
So I'm down in my office at 9 o'clock last night and his fucking Will answering the phone. He's like, "Hello," and I'm like, "Oh, hey, bro." And he's like, "Yeah, it's 10 o'clock here, eh?" And I'm like, "Oh, bro, I'm so sorry." Anyway, I asked him the question. I said, "Hey, man, what's the best 42-inch mower out there?" And he said, "Geez," he goes, "they're all pretty shit." So now when I say shit, I don't mean like they're actually shit, but there isn't a clear commercial 42-inch mower.
Yeah.
There
Well, I mean, that's the intensity is running a full commercial engine, pump and wheel motors. I'm guessing they're 10 cc's.
I am actually trying to figure that out right now.
Definitely honourable mention for the Liberty, the Skag Liberty 42. It's a tri-blade. It's one of the few. I don't think there is actually another
the
tri-blade. Oh, is there?
The Gravely 42. But I'll tell you what, Beej. This 3-blade system, it's fine.
Yeah.
But it wasn't enough for me. I looked at the Liberty.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't enough for me. So obviously, because I sell a shit ton of mower blades,
Yeah.
I know like the specs of these 3-blade systems, and they're just a really little blade. They're not like, this is what comes standard, right?
Yeah.
They're just a really little blade. They're just not anywhere near as like bulky and everything as the other blades that come with the machines. Like if you look at the Gravely blades, you know, they don't even really look they don't even really look like mower blades.
I think for mulching and things, the 3-blade system might have a bit of an advantage because it'd create a bit more airflow.
Yeah, but at the same time, like 42 is Australia's most popular deck size, right?
Yeah.
And you've had these 2-blade systems that have worked flawlessly for decades now.
Yeah.
So
it's funny, we both had country clippers and they both didn't make the cut.
Okay, so in the 42 range, here is all of my, you know, honorable mentions. I've got the Raptor XD, which, by the way, is one of the most popular mowers sold in Australia.
Yeah.
I have the ZTXL from Gravely. I have the Liberty, which, you know, is pretty new. Like, not that there wouldn't be that many Liberty 42s out there.
Oh, there's been a few sold.
Yeah, but
not
when you compare.
I mean, they're a newish product. Like
that's what I mean.
Release,
yeah, that's what I mean. When you put that up against, you know, like,
fair enough.
We've obviously got the Bobcat 42. Now I do have the right intensity here, and I've finally found the specs. It does offer a 10cc pump and wheel motor system.
Yep. So it literally is a full spec commercial machine, not like a light commercial, like a full commercial. So
the right intensity for everyone that's listening in this 42 range, it's essentially like a Wright ZK, which is their full commercial model shrunk down into a smaller footprint. But it does only have a 19 horsepower.
Yeah.
So, which I thought, you know, like they could have bulked it up a little.
I think my fucking country clipper had a 22, or maybe it had a 19 as well.
You had the Quacker on there, eh?
Yeah.
See, on my clipper,
you had the Kohler, didn't you?
I had the Kohler. I think it was 19.
Now, double check that.
I really wanted I wanted to actually choose Country Clipper.
Yeah.
Because there's a couple of, like, if all of these mowers are going to be running the same hydros and the same, you know, relatively same horsepower, I thought, well, if I looked at something like Country Clipper as an option, then at least there's a point of difference. You've got a joystick, you've got a flip-up deck, all of these things. Then I had a look, and it's running EZT transaxles, which is like the bottom of the, you know, so I couldn't put it up there as one of the best. So look, BJ, I think your choice of this right intensity is probably the fairest choice.
Yeah.
But I do want to say, it's cheating a little bit on my list.
Okay.
I think if you get a Raptor XD, a Gravely ZTXL, a Bobcat, whatever the model is, 42-inch, a Liberty, I think if you get any of these mowers, it would be the right choice as well. Yeah.
Ooh, that one was a big one.
Toro time cutter. Users out there are probably going to be a little butthurt, and they've certainly the 42-inch time cutter is certainly better than what it used to be.
Yeah,
this fabricated deck model. I think they have the MyRide system on these 42s. Is that right?
I think so. Yeah,
which is fantastic.
Yeah,
that is a comfortable system.
What
my issue is still the way that those decks are hung.
Yeah, okay.
They're
it's just a 3-point pivot. It's not like a 4-point. Okay.
So, and I just think it's just nowhere near as durable. Like you can't stand on those decks.
Yeah.
Or
ankle breakers.
Well, it'll fuck your whole, I used to I've got a Gravely in there now. And it actually has a foot pad. Like you can stand on the deck to get on the mower. And it's because it's hung from all 4 points. And, the Bobcat has that. The Liberty has that. The Gravely it's a little bit of a different, it's a rod system.
Oi, I wish I was hung from all 4 points.
So anyway, let's just recap. The 32-inch, we have the V-Ride. The 34-inch, we split with the Compact Pro and the World Lawn Gator.
Yeah.
36-inch was unanimous with the V-Ride. Is that right?
Yeah. Z1 as an honourable from Ferris.
Yeah. I didn't weigh in.
Yeah.
But the machine is just kind of slowish. Like Ferris usually have a reputation of being really fast.
Wow.
It's not the quickest machine.
Yeah, well, that's what I thought. And then I had a look at the specs.
I've been on one.
Oh, really? Okay.
I've been on one. Yeah. I mean, some of the specs on some of these websites are not... You can obviously use it as a guideline. And look, I've used the drive system to gauge a lot of these mowers, but I haven't really always looked at that top speed. But I have noticed the Hustler Australia website for the Super S, it's saying it's running a 12cc pump and wheel motor system, but it's not. It's running a 10cc.
Okay. So they've grabbed it off the American website and we get a different model here, or do you think they've just fucked that up?
I just think a lot of the websites seem to, Skag do this as well. They kind of have a paragraph and they say, if you buy the 36, you can get this, this, and this. If you have the 48, 52, or 61, then you get this, and this. And if you're proof, if you're just buzzing over that, you can probably get a little bit misled.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Now, in the 48-inch, Beej,
yeah.
What do you got, dude?
So I actually landed on the Skag Tiger Cat 2. Not only did I think it was, the better of the two Skag options because of the ground speed, because we've both got a 48 Skag. Mine's the sit-down Tiger Cat and yours is the stander. I get stander, more compact, blah, blah, blah. But the ground speed is different. So I probably got you about an extra K or so.
I think roughly. I think, look, I think roughly the specs of a V-Ride 48 is around 17 Ks ground speed.
So 19, we're up around 19 for the Tiger Cat. So...
and it used to make a difference, right? When we were on the 40.
Yeah.
I mean, I could always get you around the trees and things like that.
Yeah, but eventually...
on the open stretch.
Yeah.
Now, did you have any other mowers in consideration?
I did. I haven't written them down here.
Do you remember what you looked at?
I think the Gravely I looked at, and what else did I look at? I think it was only really the Gravely that popped up for me. So
with the 48-inch, I tried to look for in the Hustler range.
Yeah.
Because Hustlers are great mowers in that 48-inch range.
Yeah.
Nothing really aligned. So I actually chose the Tiger Cat as well.
Did you? Okay.
I did.
Fuck. All right, cool. What about Cub Cadet? Did that pop up for you at all?
look, the
Because that
Cubs,
cubby is like that stander is not too bad. It doesn't have the ground speed of the Tiger Cat, but
for me,
it's not
I
a
just
bad
couldn't
machine.
really put it in the conversation for a couple of reasons, and one being that there's obviously one in the country,
Yeah,
but they just haven't done anything with the dealers. Dealers don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
yeah,
Like I wanted to sort of focus on some of the brands that you can actually have access to.
yeah. Okay.
So the Cub Cadet Stander, I don't even know what it's called. It might be actually just called the X48 or some shit.
Yeah, okay.
It wasn't really on my radar, but look, I like that machine.
Yeah.
And I like that machine because of the Dirt Monkey.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like
I got to ride around on it at the expo and shit, and it's quite a comfortable machine and it's a nice ride. That's only like I
it's
didn't.
got a beautiful deck lift.
Yeah,
Can I just also say before we get a little bit further into this that with the 42 inch, I was so close to choosing the Walker.
Oh, really?
I was really close.
Yeah.
And our good mate and good friend of the show, Rubes, put a comment on there about the Walker also, saying that it would be hands down the best, the best cutting deck in Australia, which I actually agree with.
Yeah.
If you cut with a Walker, you're going to get a primo cut that a lot of mid-mount zero turns just can't compete with.
Do you mean like the direct collect?
Either
version,
I'm just
or-
talking about the physical cut.
Oh, okay.
Like if like they have that front floating deck
Yeah.
that's going to follow the contours
Yeah,
of what
that's
you're
true.
doing.
I've just never really used a side discharge walker, so I, haven't had much. You have though. You've used a few, haven't you?
I haven't used. I haven't
okay.
used but I mean, look, we a few. Gary uses one,
Yeah.
and we have a bunch of Catch Pros on them.
Yep.
I just know whether it's a direct collect or that side throw, they still cut the same.
Yeah, okay.
They don't finish the same because one's fucking vacuuming,
Yeah.
like fucking Las Vegas hooker. But I just couldn't really choose the Walker in the end because the hydros on the 42 inch it's too much of a specialty machine.
Yeah. Okay.
So Daniel Smith also, chimed in. He's like, "Hey man, the best cutting deck, hands down, is going to be this Gianni." Now, that is true to some extent, but it's a specialty mower. Like I think those mowers excel and make a lot of sense if you've just got a straight up residential business where you do have access, where you are expected to be taking the grass away, and they're going to give you an exceptional cut.
Yeah.
It's not like you're going to go and mow 2 acres with one of those mowers.
Yeah.
It's true. And, this list, you pick 1,000 different people to make this list, and this list is going to change 1,000 times.
Yeah, that's it.
Moving back to the 48 inch, I was rooting for the Z Master.
Yeah, me too. I actually went through all Toro stuff, but I just couldn't.
I was really rooting for the Z Master, and the drive system kind of made me take a step back.
I had a look at clippers again. I thought maybe there'd be a 48 clipper, but yeah.
I didn't look at clipper again.
Yeah.
I thought the 42 inch.
Fuck, when you have to
could be a
go
winner.
when you have to go deck by deck, fuck, there's a lot of mowers out there. There's a lot of choice. It took so long to go through all of them.
Yeah,
And
this
go
list
through
wasn't
price.
easy.
Nah, fuck, it took a long time.
This list really wasn't easy, but look, I chose the Tiger Cat because it's running a 12cc pump and wheel motor system.
Yep.
It's also got a couple of other, like foldable ROPS bars.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty important. The Fast Track has foldable ROPS as well.
Yeah.
But to me, it just stood out as a clear winner. I didn't take the V-Ride into any real consideration here, just because once you start getting into the 48 inch standards, there is some competition. Some of
Yeah.
the other brands totally start aligning, and the grandstand, the the Cub Cadet,
Yeah.
all of these other mowers, they do start aligning with
Yeah.
in that commercial space. Now, was there anything else that you want to say about 48 inch? Because
48.
it's a popular deck
is.
size.
Yeah, it is. If you can't get a 42 on a certain brand, that's the next best thing's a 48. Like both of us chose 48s, and yeah, I love it. I love my little 48.
Yeah, personally now I'm a 52 inch guy.
Yeah.
But
Damn.
I mean, it's a rich statement because I'm not a contractor anymore.
Yeah.
The 48 was like, I could still do the village with a 48.
Yeah.
So it's a great size. And could still hold its own on a fucking 20-acre property.
Yeah. 40-acre property. You would have done that by yourself before, haven't you?
I did. I don't think I did it on the V-Ride, pal. I think
okay.
I did that on the Spartan, on the KG.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, 52-inch decks.
52.
Now, can I just come out with what I got?
Yeah.
I have chosen the Gravely ProTurn 552.
Yep.
And I thought I was going to choose this in the 48-inch deck.
Oh, really?
Because, and I probably should have mentioned it in the 48, it actually aligns head-to-head with the Tiger Cat.
Does it really?
But I chose the Tiger Cat because I've just seen you do so many hours on one.
Yeah.
Now with the
drive off fucking drive off cliffs.
Now in the 52, I saw it's running a 16cc pump and wheel motor system with a 27 horsepower, and I believe there's other options too on engine sizes, with a ground speed of 24.1 k's. So now I also believe that the Tiger Cat 52 aligns very closely with that. It does,
yeah. It's not too far off. What engine is on that Gravely that you?
I can
have a look.
I can maybe have a look while you're freaking.
So I was gonna go with the Tiger Cat, but the V-Ride actually has a bigger engine option. So I've noticed a lot of people are jumping on the 52-inch V-Ride with the 37 horsepower. So that's where I align my. But the Gravely, that's a quick machine.
Yeah, in the 52 range.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to view some specs now. It's 22 grand. Look, I haven't really taken price into consideration.
No. I did when I was looking at. So you can, when I went on, I started using like the shopping option on Google, and then I'd just pick out the ones that were more expensive. So I wasn't running through all the fucking, the homeowner editions.
Can I also say, because so how many Skag options do you have so far?
1, 2, 3, so 4.
Okay, because I've got right now for Skag, I've got 1, 2. I've got 3. Something else that put the Tiger Cat over the edge for me in the 48 range was the dual fuel tanks. So there's the only reason why I'm bringing this up is that, I mean, we've both seen the thread this morning, and people are like, "Oh, I can't wait to see how many times Skag gets mentioned," or "Can't wait to see this, and this." But there is a lot of reasons why. Like, if you want to be a Skag hater, you can be a Skag hater. That's fine. No one else actually gives a fuck. But if you really want to take the time to actually just look at reasons why certain mowers, whether it be Skag, whether it be Hustler, whatever, there are, these brands have put a lot of thought into particular models.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you now, we used to do the 40 acres and we had, I'm just going to use 3 mowers as an option. BJ had the Tiger Cat, I had the V-Ride, and Russell eventually ended up on the KG Spartan. Now, BJ and Russell both had dual fuel tanks. Benny on the V-Ride, even though my fuel tank was bigger then one of yours, it wasn't the same as a dual tank.
Yeah.
And so it does matter. There are cases where those things matter.
Yeah.
So
It takes a while, unless you have like an easy flow pump to fucking fill up.
and I mean, like I said,
How
these
heavy
days,
is a 20-litre fucking jerry
these
can?
days I'm fucking over it. I mean, when I had my setup really nice, I was in a situation where I'd fill up a jerry can out of servo, and then I'd fill up the V ride straight off.
Yeah.
Are you fucking peeking at me list, you dog?
Yeah.
Guess what? Wait, guess what? That's just my notes. This is the actual list here.
Fucking dog.
If you want to take a look at me notes, I've got grandstand 15 horsepower with a 10cc pump wheel motor.
I want to know where you landed on 54s.
All right, well, hang on. We're still on.
Yeah, I know.
We're still on 52. For
I just
a
looked
sec.
at my list and I was like, oh, I wonder if, because I'm waiting to see if you missed one that I got, and I got one that you might have missed.
Oh, look, people are
Out of
probably
the fucking 40,000 mowers on the market.
people are probably hating on us a fair bit right now. But so back to your question, the 52 Pro Turn, it's running a Kawasaki FX 850V.
All right, what's that?
Yeah.
27.
27.
All right.
So
yeah,
wait, is that a lower horsepower than the Tiger Cat?
No, the V-Ride in 52s. Is
Yeah.
that what you're talking about? The V-Ride runs at 37 horsepower.
Yep. I just didn't look at the V ride in this situation.
It's punching some serious fucking speed for
for the ground speed. It's got a 16. It's got a 16.
Yeah.
So the drive system was really something. Look, I think
it's like a what do you want out of your machine?
Well, let's just use Nanki as an example right here. He would probably look at these two mowers and he'd say, okay, do I want ground speed or do I want torque?
Yeah.
And because he does a lot of brothels,
Yeah.
like, fucked up grass, he would probably look at the V-Ride in this instance and say, you know what, look, I'm not going to be going 25 Ks along this stretch, but I need that grunt. So, there's things to weigh up.
Exactly.
With all these situations. Was there any more that you needed to...
Look, I picked the V-Ride over the Tiger Cat because
of that horsepower?
Yeah, because of the horsepower. The Tiger Cat has two engine options at the moment, 24 and 26. And look, some of these potentially will change over time because engine options are still not something that's like some countries are getting priority. So, the US are getting fucking flooded with their Kawasaki's and stuff now. We're getting like different models but everything is starting to come back to normal, which is awesome to see.
Now, I also want to mention that I wanted to choose the ZK.
Yeah.
The right ZK on for the 52. But really, I just looked at this ground speed and the Gravely Pro Turns, they're just... Gravely is just one of those brands, just a lot like Skag and all the others, where they've just been a really great, consistent brand for 40 fucking years.
Yeah.
I was fishing for Gravely to make my list.
Yeah.
I was. Same with Bobcat. I was fishing for it. I was also fishing for Toro. I really tried to expand as much as I could.
Yeah.
And at the moment on my list, I've got Skag 32. I've got Gravely 34. I've got Skag 36. I'm live on air. I'm choosing the intensity for the 42, the 48. Yeah, so I kind of have stuck to... I've kind of stuck to just Gravely and Skag here. Yeah. Now, with the 54-inch, there's not a lot of competitors.
No.
What do you got?
I landed on the Bush Ranger KG HD. Is that where you fucking dropped?
No.
Where are you?
Okay, so this is probably going to trip people out, but I've chosen the John Deere Z994R.
Oh, I had a look at that.
Okay, now I'm just going to tell you why I've chosen this.
Okay.
It's running the MOD deck, which is the mulch on demand.
Okay.
Now, a little bit controversial with the whole Catch Pro thing that I got going on.
Yeah, fair enough.
But if you're out there especially in the 54 range,
Yeah.
there's a high chance you're probably not catching anyway.
Yeah.
Even though I catch every week with a 52.
Yeah.
This mulch on demand system, just coming from someone who loves like innovation and stuff,
Yep.
it's pretty slick,
So it
man.
appealed to you.
Like, it's not like any other OCD
Yeah.
system that you see like the OEM brands bringing out. This thing has fucking baffles that actually retract.
Yeah.
And
I know it's probably a well-tested thing, but in my eyes, it's kind of like when cars changed over to pretty much all electric windows. It's just something else to fuck up.
yeah, but I mean, they don't really fuck up.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Like, I've never really like I got to see them, and actually something that was cool at the GIE when I went, they actually had a deck that was flipped up, and you could go up and flick the switch, and it would fucking open and close, which was awesome to see. Looks like a pretty solid.
Imagine if women worked that way.
I do.
I'm probably gonna get fucking hammered for that comment. As if I give a fuck.
I got a special switch you can flick after this. But yeah, I just landed on the Bush Ranger KG because it's like it was like a good all rounder.
It is a slick machine.
17k, no 18k's an hour. Fucking
unless you do the
25
Benny,
horsepower.
unless you do the Benny mod.
Yeah, that's
you
it.
can get 20 clicks out of that thing.
Yeah. It's a pity that some of these like 54s don't have these bigger engine options though. And I don't know if like maybe I missed it, but what's the John Deere running? Did you have that down as a note?
I don't have it down as a note, but it's also got the Comfort Glide seat and suspension option, which is really nice, and it also comes with wheels.
Oh, as a standard.
Yeah, this model does. You can actually have it without wheels.
What are they like? Fucking $1,300 a pop or something?
Not sure. I haven't looked at the updated price to add wheels to a machine these days.
That's pretty cool.
But I looked at this machine to add a little bit of variety.
Yeah.
John Deere is just not typically one of those brands that contractors really are running. But everyone knows my guy Corey in the States. He has like 80 of these things.
Yeah.
And look, I had someone locally back in the day that wanted a Catch Pro and a John Deere, and we don't do fitments, right? But this was early in the piece.
Yeah.
So, we just did whatever we had to do for a sale.
Yeah.
And I'd said to the guy, I said, look, you're not fucking waiting here while I do it.
Don't you fucking watch.
Yeah, give me a bit of time, and me and Rusty went out in the paddock and had a little bit of play on this thing.
Yeah.
It was like a 48-inch something or other. But I was really impressed with the machine.
Oh, okay.
So
nice.
I don't know that John Deere is the most sort of customer-friendly brand to be buying from. Like their dealerships.
Like 5 dealers in all of Australia.
Yeah, like their dealerships are a little bit up your nose, I think.
Yeah, well, unfortunately,
they're
I reached out to Chest. Like, we've got the main office just down the road from us, like, down at Yatla, and I reached out to them, and this was for the event. And
it's just
I'll
one of
do
those
it
brands
again.
you can't get anything done.
Yeah, they just didn't even fucking bother to get back to me via like my emails or my phone calls. Just didn't land in anyone's fucking lap. So
it'll just be one of those things where it's like, I'll tell my assistant to tell her assistant to fucking, so.
It'll just get chucked in a pile. It's like, well, if you actually want, like, you got to put them in front of people.
But if you're looking for a 54, which I don't think many people are say like, oh, you know what, I'm going to buy a mower today and it's going to be a 54.
Yeah.
But there's not a lot of competition. There is Bush Ranger. Husky have some models. Husky I couldn't really put into any proper consideration in any of these choices just because their mowers are a little down-spec'd.
Yeah.
Kubota's run 54. And Toro has...
I didn't really look at Kubota for many of the machines. I know that.
Well, here's the thing. When I phoned a friend in bed...
Yeah.
I looked at the Kubota for the 42-inch.
Yeah.
And sorry, I know you trip. You can't see me because of the microphones.
Yeah,
just
look
look through the little holes.
You look like Batman.
The the feedback that I got from him was like they're just a fucking pain in the ass to work on.
Okay.
All of these things, and it was valuable feedback because he works on tons of machines.
Yeah.
He sees all this stuff.
You're cheeky for ringing a friend. I had I'm not gonna lie, I had a few whiskeys. We sold our car, and when I was making this list, I had a few drinks. So,
dude, I had like 10,000 lung busters. Like anytime I got to do research, I'm just like putting myself on my deathbed.
Like fucking Thomas the Tank Engine.
So yeah, this John Deere, man, it was
good on you.
like
Something different.
So
for the
Toro, I believe they have the Titan.
Yeah.
But it's not a true commercial. I love the Titan. Like you could use it commercially for sure. But I just think when you're looking at what some of the other brands are offering, it doesn't really stand up. When you were looking at Bush Ranger, because I looked around at Bush Ranger.
Yeah.
Did you consider any of their sit downs? They got sit downs in 54s.
Not really. No.
Okay.
I just looked at this one and.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a look at them, but they didn't stand out to me. This one actually stood out. So
cool. All right. Now 60-inch.
I'm excited for this one. Where did you? What do you got?
No, I went first last time.
Okay. All right. So I actually landed on the Gravely ProTurn 660.
Okay.
So.
Well, I looked at it.
Yeah.
Now I got to say, whether I'm right or wrong, I didn't really fully research this one.
Okay.
And when I thought of the...
You even phoned a fucking friend.
When I thought of this list, this 160-inch was going to be my choice, hands down, no questions asked.
Yeah.
And it's the Hustler Hyperdrive.
Okay.
I just don't think any mower, any 60-inch mower can compare to this drive system.
Yeah, okay.
This Hyperdrive is like next level, bro. I looked at the Gravely, I looked at the Skag, looked at the Z Master, but the Hyperdrive really sets themselves apart from all of these other mowers. And it's not a specialty, like it's obviously a special feature, but it doesn't put the mower into a specialty category. It's not a slope mower, it's not a fucking out front slasher, it's not any, like it's just
a unit.
It is a fucking unit, and it's got a lot of credibility. And I also believe, so actually Rubes put a comment here in his thread also about the 60-inch Hyperdrive.
Yeah, well maybe
saying that should be a clear win. Look, who gives a fuck if you fucked up, right?
Well, now you've got me fucking doubting. What are the specs on the Hyperdrive now?
Sorry, I fucked my mic. That's why I couldn't speak.
Oh, God.
What specs do you want?
Oh, I don't know.
It's,
so
what's 60 inches?
Yeah, thank you. So the Gravely's must be fucking coming pretty close because it's running at 24 kilometers per hour, and it's running the.
Which one did you choose? The ProTurn 600.
ProTurn 660.
All right, let me have a look. They've got the 660, and then there's a 660 EFI.
So I chose the EFI because it's
so
apparently more fuel efficient and etc.
And it's got extra letters, man.
Now I don't know if you came across this when I was looking at the Toro, which almost put it in a few of them, was this Horizon system where it's
I saw the Horizon.
Yeah, it's like a fuel economy system. Like it saves you on fuel and lower emissions. Which is pretty interesting. I'd never heard of it until I started. It fucking cost you an extra bit. Like some of the machines, I think were around $35,000 for a 60-inch machine.
Yeah, look,
I guess if you,
I don't want to beat the drum or anything, but man, if you're running a 60-inch Z Master or if you're running a 60-inch Skag or Gravely right now, and I've chosen Hyperdrive, it just doesn't mean.
Yeah.
It really just doesn't mean that much.
Yep.
Oh,
well, there are no 60-inch Skags, so you know.
And by the way, if we're talking 60 and 61, all of those,
yeah,
they all ran in the same blades.
Yeah. Oh,
So
do they really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's a gimmick anyway.
Oh.
It's like Country Clipper has a 41-inch deck.
Bro, if there's an option for me to have an extra 1 inch, you know what I'm going to fucking
Oh,
choose.
bro.
What I would do with that.
Okay, now BJ's options running a 38.5 Cowie.
Yep.
It's the FX 1000. It's got a Parker HTG dual hydrostatic transmission, which I believe would be a 16cc. I do love this X Factor 3 deck, which is, look, it could be a gimmick. But that deck, along with the Turbo Force and the Velocity and all of these other things, they do carry some credibility.
Yeah.
It's got a great warranty, 1,500, 5-year commercial warranty. Like you said, 24.1. So it's got the 60-inch has the same top end as the 52 that I've chosen.
So that's why I was thinking when you mentioned that earlier, did you get caught on they run the same hydros and everything?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah. Nice. So, I tried to make sure that what it was that I was choosing was either fair or aligned in some way, shape, or form. Don't get me wrong. I was hunting for certain brands.
Yeah.
I was hunting for certain brands to make the list. So now if we take a look at the Hustler Hyperdrive, it's got a 40 horsepower Vanguard.
Mm-hmm. Is that with the oil system as well?
It might have that oil guard. Look, it's got a fantastic warranty. The hydros are obviously next level.
Are they 21cc?
Nah, it's like it's not even like. I'm having some issues. I'm having some issues on the air trying to
fucking .com. Bloody interwebs.
So it's a Danfoss DDC 20 transmission with Parker TG wheel motors. So it's in a different league.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's one of those things where it just stood out.
Yeah.
It's been the benchmark.
It really is.
And it's a flagship mower.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like the 32V.
Well, that's what I thought. Like,
mower.
I think that Gravely is their flagship as well. So that's I kind of lent onto that one. But I think you might be right
with
the Hyperdrive.
Okay, yeah.
I think you might be right.
I demoed.
So what's the top end on the Hyperdrive? It'd be like 26 or something, wouldn't it?
Well, if everyone wants to go to Catch Pro Australia YouTube channel and have a look at the drone footage, I think Rusty's on the whatever the top end Bush Ranger one is.
Yeah.
And I'm on the Hyperdrive, and we are fucking hooking like 25 Ks on the 40 acres. And you can just see our heads fucking bobbling like turds that won't flush.
Is that the same day that fucking Paul wanted to punch on with one of my fucking workers because he was just ripping up the fucking...
Oh, yeah.
He was just doing burnouts everywhere.
Yeah, just full... No, it was Graham Allen, eh?
Oh, yeah.
He was just looking to give
He was
out
just mad dogging
clotheslines.
him. He was like, fuck, I'm going to kill this dog.
All right, moving on to the 61-inch.
61?
And technically, I had to phone a friend for this one. I texted you to just get a little bit of a heads up. Now, I had a look around. What brands do we have in 61? When I start getting to 54, I start wigging out.
Yeah, okay.
Because I don't think Hustler has a 61. Does
so
it?
you've
Toro
got,
doesn't have one.
so just in Skag, you've got V-Ride, Turf Tiger, and Cheetah. So that made it a hard choice for me because they're all fucking incredible machines. Who else has 61?
Actually, I think Ferris.
Yeah, Ferris.
So I've chosen the Turfy.
Yeah, that's what I've chosen.
And I took a look. So in that 61, it's just one of those deck sizes.
Yeah.
Like not all the brands have something. Like Toro doesn't have a 61, and I don't think Hustler does either. Or Gravely. So I sort of took a look, and I tell you what, you could just as easily choose the Ferris in this case.
Yeah. Wait, is ZK of 61? No.
Could be.
I can't remember.
Could be.
I
Look,
chose a Turf Tiger.
I love stand-ons.
Yeah, I tried to be off the stand sit sort of thing. I just looked.
Yeah, I tried to look at it as though, all right, if you're look, I would happily recommend a 60-inch stand-on.
Yeah.
I think they're great. I just know that most people that are looking for a 60-inch, unless they're doing some hills or unless they're, doing that crazy stuff in the trees or, hopping on and off the mower several times during a job, most of the time they're going to want to sit.
Yeah.
I also do think, I can't remember who I was chatting to. Someone was looking to get their first 52-inch and they said, hey, mate, would you get the V-Ride or would you get this? And I said, look, it's going to be the V-Ride all day long because, and they're sort of saying like, oh, geez, I just don't know about standing all day.
Yeah.
I said, mate, I'm telling you, you would be good up to at least 5 hours.
Yeah.
Like, it's doable. I've done all of that. And I know
everyone's
going to be different, but I am just physically, I don't compare to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like, my body hurts all the time, and I'm telling you, if I can stand for 4 hours in no pain, I would imagine a lot of people would be able to as well, unless you got like a fucking snapped leg or something, or a really bad knee. And in that case, like a stand-on's probably not in the conversation for that person.
So another thing that put the turf your head is, in my eyes, is the shaft-driven element.
Absolutely,
it puts so much more torque on the tip speed on those blades. This thing because I've had one. Like, I've been lucky enough to be able to, be on one.
And you probably clocked up like what, 50, 100 hours or something?
Like just under 200 hours.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so it fucking throws like an absolute monster. Ground speed is awesome. Comfort-wise, it's perfect. It's super heavy duty, everything across the board, which makes it a heavy mower. The fuel tank is under the seat, which gives it a really low center of gravity for a sit-down machine. And you can,
I keep hitting the fucking.
I really rate it. Not just because it's a Skag, like obviously, yes, I fucking love my Skags, but it is a fucking amazing mower.
So you made that comment to reiterate again, you love your Skags. Was there any other brands actually in the mix here for you?
No, it was a hard choice between the Cheetah and the Turf Tiger because they both have.
That's what I hit you up about. But I had a look.
Different elements because, like, the Cheetah
has those fucking whack as fuck stripes on it.
No, that's the Turf Tiger.
Fuck!
You fucking goober. The fucking Cheetah's a blackout.
Okay.
Like, I've got the blackout model right outside. No, but yeah, fucking the Cheetah, the ground speed on that fucking thing and the comfort of the suspension seat and all that is fucking awesome. Like, it is the fastest mower. And
see, that aligns with
that's more around the hyperdrive. I think they're
and there's a Bobcat model too.
Yeah.
That aligns with
Predator
that.
Pro? No, that's the
It's all changed.
Yeah, okay.
They just have numbers now.
Oh, okay.
Like a 6000.
That's stupid.
Like a 61-2000.
That's stupid. No, but I really had trouble because, like, I'm on the Cheetah and I fucking love cutting with it. But I think for overall, I think the Turf Tiger is just an absolute monster.
Sweet. So last we have the 72-inch Dex.
72.
And I got to be honest, I don't know how well I've done here with my choices.
Okay. Oh, you got choices.
Yeah, okay, so there's only really a couple of brands up for grabs here.
Yeah.
I've actually chosen the Z Master, but I actually feel like the Ferris, it could actually be a better mower just because of all the comfort and shit that they've got going on.
Okay.
But I took a look at, I really wanted the Z Master to just make my list somewhere.
Yeah.
I really, I know I've just speak to a lot of Americans about this Turbo Force.
they're a very highly rated machine in Australia as well. Well, like,
Absolutely. Like you see all the counts. Like I know like the airflow and the way that these things discharge. I know how beefy the decks are. Like I was really hanging to put a Z Master on my list, and I couldn't choose it in the 60-inch range. I the 48s and the 52s just don't really align with their competition. And so that's why I've kind of placed it here, but I also have kind of placed the Ferris along with it. What have you got here?
So this is probably the hardest one for me to choose because they're all like really good machines. There's some fucking super unique features like on the ZK. It's got the Julie, so it's got like a very specific market, but it is unique and pretty cool. Z Master, yeah, same. Like it was.
And I think the Skag was in the running here too.
But I actually picked the Skag again because of the big block engine and the shaft driven machine.
Yep.
I just think the more tip speed, especially because you're not catching on a fucking 72, the more throw you get out of these machines, the better because you'll get a more cleaner cut.
Yeah, you just want an even discharge.
Yeah, you'll get a nice even discharge. And I know from experience that is what the Skag gives. But yeah, I think the Toro and the Skag, I think like there's a bit of a fucking dead heat for those two.
And did you take a look at the Ferris at all?
A little bit. I did see that Kyle posted about the fucking 45 point something horsepower diesel.
Yeah, so that's
Ferris.
That's the one I've gone with.
Is it?
It
had
a lower.
Like I said at the start, I didn't really take any diesels into consideration.
Yeah, I didn't. I don't have the tab open here. I'm just not going to mess with it on air.
Is that a Cat diesel?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Now
it has a lower ground speed.
Yeah.
Which, like that's the thing when we're talking about these mowers, some are built for just knocking down that shit.
Yeah.
And some are built for high volumes of flat areas.
Yeah. So I know
and I think if you're coming in your hanky, then you might take a look at the Ferris with this big block Cat diesel, and you'd be like, I need to knock down some shit that's at my eyes right now.
Yeah.
But if you're on the Poity Acres, like B Jizzle, well, you're like, man, I just need to get home.
Yeah.
So you would choose something with the 25K ground speed. Because I do believe this Ferris is down around that 17K, maybe even a little lower.
Yeah.
Which isn't even competing with some of these smaller deck sizes that you see around in ground speed.
And when you think about ground speed, like 1 or 2Ks is actually a fair bit when you...
It's a lot.
At the end of the day, it actually adds up. Like
it's a lot. It's a lot. And I'll make the point that when we got our brand new Skags, I was pissed that you were going faster than me on my V-Ride. And then when we got the Spartan and... did the little mod to make it faster, it made a huge difference because not only did you have a 54-inch deck, but you're going another K faster.
Yeah.
And it does make a difference. Look, I think if you're mowing 2 acres, you'd be there 15 minutes longer.
Yeah.
But when you're working on volumes and you're going hard out.
15 minutes, if you were a fortnightly fucking mow or a weekly mow, 15, add it all up at the end of the year, there's fucking 3 days you fucking lost.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, I know.
I'm not like that, but I know there's some guys out there that are fucking on point with every minute, like stopwatch and shit like that. So that's not me. Like I like to fuck around.
If we go all the way back to your 32-inch and you have a look at, let's say, the Pro Stance and you have a look at the V-Ride, that if you're doing an acre on that 32-inch, you're going to fucking know about it if you're on a Pro Stance.
Yeah.
Like, you'll actually be sitting around going like I need to go faster right now. Yeah. Like, they're just not a fast machine.
No.
And the B is a little bit faster, but it's the same sort of thing. Like, I've said it a million times. That speed is not always going to be the most important thing in a lot of applications in that 32 range, but there are times.
Well, if you got one mower and you want to open up your options, that's why I like the 32-inch V-Ride. I think is a really good option for people. If they're going to get one mower, they can hit residential and they can look at small commercials and acreage and things like that. Like I've got a video on YouTube where I knocked out like a really thick, wet fucking property, like an acreage. When I had my car accident and my trailer got written off, I could only carry around the 32 most of the time. I couldn't carry the 48 and the 32 together.
And we need to be honest with ourselves. Like in Australia, who the fuck can afford all these multiple zero turns?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Like,
and also, it doesn't make that much difference unless you can carry them at the same time.
Exactly. Yeah. I totally get that. You should see my fucking truck right now. There's like, I got a pushy. I don't know how I fit it all on. It's pretty cool. But I got the 61, the pushy. I've got a pressure cleaner, a big fucking hose reel, 4 fuel tanks for some reason. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Going on, I'm like prepper or something. What can't BJ do?
So have you had did you have fun doing this list? Like,
yeah, dude. Yeah, look, sometimes
it wasn't fun physically doing the list.
No,
but talking about it.
It was, yeah, it was good. The only thing that looms over my head is people that are going to talk shit, but realistically, I don't give a fuck. Like, I like what I like, and I know a lot of these specs off by heart, so I didn't even have to look at the SCAG website. But, it's interesting to see what's actually out there. Like, the World Lawn Gator, for me, actually stood out as like a bit of a dark horse. It was a bit of a background machine. What else did I have on there? The Intensity sort of stood out really in the 42s as being the only full commercial spec machine that you can get in the 42-inch deck.
Before you go too far, can we just get a recap of deck size and models that you've run with throughout?
Okay, so 32 V-Ride, 34 World Lawn Gator, 36 with a V-Ride with a Ferris honourable mention. 42-inch was a Right Intensity. 48 was a Tiger Cat. 52 was a V-Ride. 54 was a Bush Ranger KGHD. 60-inch was a Gravely Pro Turn, but I think leaning more towards the hyperdrive now after secondsies. That must have been like number 5 whiskey or something. 61-inch Turf Tiger and 72-inch Turf Tiger were my picks for the big boppers.
Okay, cool. So in the 32, I got the V-Ride. The 34, I've gone Compact Pro. 36, I've doubled up on the V-Ride. 42, as mentioned, I have about 5 different mowers here, but ultimately Intensity wins spec-wise because it's got a better hydro system. It has a floating motor and deck system.
Mm.
So look, that's not going to matter when you're talking about a sit-down.
Yeah.
Because your belt path is normal anyway. Yeah. But in terms of just an all-round better machine spec for spec, the Intensity does win. I want to say that if the Intensity wasn't there, that I'd probably take a look at the Bobcat.
Okay.
But I do strongly believe, like your XD, your Liberty, your ZDXL in the Gravely.
Yeah.
You could even potentially put a time cutter in there. They're all great options.
Yeah.
And especially that Hustler XD, it's one of the most common 42-inch amongst contractor users.
Yeah.
And they are all having great results.
I'm sure you're selling a few blades for those.
So blades, catch pros, and shoot blockers for the Raptor 48 is our most commonly out of everything.
And I bet there was some fucking good deals when there was the changeover.
I'm not sure.
There would have been a lot of people.
I wouldn't know, but
looking in when they could.
But yeah, certainly that Raptor 42 is like a household, favorite.
Very nice.
48, I've got a Tiger Cat.
Well, that's fucking creepy.
Yeah. 52-inch, I've got the Pro Turn with the big 16cc pump and wheel motor. 54, I have the John Deere with all of these, extra things that you sort of get along with it.
Yep.
60-inch, I have me Hyperdrive. 61, I got the Turfy. And the 72, I know I'm cheating, but I do have the Z Master and the Ferris Big Block respectively.
Yeah.
And I do think you could easily put the Turfy in that conversation as well. Was that right, Turfy?
Yep.
Yeah. So, yeah, that rounds out our lists.
Yes.
Now, there's some other comments as well saying that, you know, BJ and myself couldn't possibly come up with a list without, you know, 500 hours experience, you know, on all of these different machines. Now,
Yeah, we just looked at specs pretty much, I think.
yeah, this isn't a list to really, like, take super seriously.
No. And it's not a diss list or anything like that.
Nah,
either,
certainly
so
not a diss list.
we just looked at specs and put together a list based on what we know and, you know, what we could read.
Yeah. For me, when I'm choosing a mower, I'm just sort of going to go back to, like, I do think you should be checking out what your local dealer has.
Yeah.
Because when something goes wrong or if you need a part, that is going to be pretty important.
Yeah.
You know, if you need a hydro service and you've, you know, traveled an hour to get a brand and, you know, your local dealer won't do the service, yeah, all those things are going to cause you dramas eventually.
Exactly, yeah.
And, you know, at the end of the day, I'm sure there's other people who are choosing mowers based on colours like I might do.
Oh, dude, 100%. Like I remember seeing a post on LMCA and someone bought the Bushranger just because it looked cool. And I saw another post, someone bought a Bushranger again because of the keypad. I'm like, okay, all right, they're cool features, but it's just like I would have looked a little bit more into that.
Yeah, look, I tried to stay away from some of the gimmicks, but there was a few things like on the Skags as well. Like one of them has, or yours has like an actual 12-volt Siggy lighter port.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like some of those things matter. Like if you, I had that Bradley mower at one point, and I put one of our USB add-ons onto it, so it was great. But I had a leaky tire at one point, and I had me little 12-volt pump.
Yep.
And you had to drive it up next to your rig and plug it into the car.
Yep.
But, you know, like on the Skag, for example, you know, you just bung it straight in the fucking... And those things do matter.
Yeah.
Like, they're not all just gimmicks to just, you know, be like, oh, we'll do this and this will bring in customers. I think your cup holders and, you know, some of these other things are really valuable contributors, even so much handbrakes.
Maybe we should do an episode
like, there's one
on
thing I want to say.
Cup holders.
Oh, don't even fucking get me started.
You know what? One of the best cup holders that I've come across personally is the Turfy.
Yeah, well,
it's the fucking. It's not plastic or anything. It's actually just a ring of metal, and it's quite deep, and shit don't fly out.
See, that's the issue. They're not deep enough.
Yeah.
The KG Spartan has a really great one on the tower.
Is it on the front of the tower?
It's on the front of the tower. Now, it does have them in the molds as well, but they're useless.
Yeah. They're too
shallow.
Shallow, yeah.
Can't fucking put anything in there except for a baby fucking chino. There was something I was going to bring up, you know, about like the handbrake systems and things like that. Like I know, like the Skags for some reason, like that handbrake system, it just doesn't, like I don't love anything about it.
Because of what? It's too simple or?
No, it just doesn't seem super user friendly compared to what's out there. Like with
Okay.
well, you know, I mean, look, I know the Graveleys, it's just like a little lever that you pull up and you pull down. You just don't ever need to think about it. The deck height system, you know, on some of these Ferris mowers, you know, like I'm sure you learn it, but they have like, it's like it doesn't run chronologically.
I mean, the V-Rod is pretty much just pull the lever up. There's nothing fucking...
The V-Rod's great.
Oh, you're talking more like the sit-downs? So
you
depress you press the foot brake and then you pull the lever up to lock it in.
Yeah, like all of those. Like I just know when I've jumped on yours to like just move them out of the way. Like I'm sitting there and I'm thinking like I'm not a novice. Like I know my way somewhere around.
Well, you got a visitor bed.
So, yeah, I mean, that rounds out both of our lists, and it was good. I would dread the day that we ever do this on like Whippersnippers or Pushmolls or something, because I think with some of these lists, like, yes, there can be some clear winners in some sort of categories, but at the end of the day, like, we've looked at the specs. If you're going 3K slower, or if the deck lift is a little bit different, these.
I think when it comes to whippersnippers, and hedges, I think you have to actually
hedge trimmers. I could be a little more anal about.
Yeah,
I think whippersnippers and blowers. Like when
many-
people go on about blowers, I'm like, bro, come on.
Yeah, but when you jump onto a website to have a look at a hedge trimmer, it doesn't tell you how many revolutions the blade does per second or minute or fucking whatever.
Some of them do.
Some of them do, but not all of them, which makes it a little bit hard. But again, there was a little bit of that here as well, where some of the content actually showed the higher spec machines, and then it sort of looked like it related to the lower spec machines as well.
And what I'd also love to put out there is anyone on LMCA that's listening to this, give us your feedback in that thread.
Yeah.
This will be dropping Monday morning.
Yep.
So on Monday, I expect to see some feedback.
Fucking
Look, doesn't matter if it's good or bad. Bung it down there. Let us know what you think. I did see a comment in there that, it's becoming quite a biased show, and they hope that we, get some, more guests on and talk about their stories. That's not really our podcast model.
No.
There's other podcasts out there for that, and you can look straight to Gary Ashton or Luke Smith's podcast if you're sort of wanting to hear other stories.
Yeah.
We're more or less trying to break down our own experiences, what's worked for us, and engaging with the contractor audience, about their experiences, not on, an interview platform, but, just sharing certain different marketing ideas.
I don't know how we've become biased. I think this is the first time we've done like a zero turn episode in fucking...
I think it's just biased towards Catch Pro products, which, I mean, let's put it out there. Like, can anyone seriously see me plugging something else? Like, it's just fucking ass backwards.
That's like anyone else that has a brand that is backing their podcast or YouTube channel.
I mean, it's
where's
like being
fucking...
a lawnmower man and someone putting up a thread, in a community page saying, oh, hey, would you like to mow my lawn? And it's like, oh, nah, I'm not really that good. You should probably go with someone else. Like, it's just,
The thing is too, like the way we've set up our sponsors is we don't just get like a weekly check. We are a performance-based podcast. So if we are not getting the views, then we're obviously not getting the sales, which means we're obviously not getting looked after. So, that's how we roll.
We rolled in. Anyway, I got shit to do, man. So
me too.
I'm bugging out.
My tit sweat didn't get as bad as it's more like belly button sweat today.
Well, we do hope everyone enjoyed this episode. We'd love to hear your feedback. Until then, I'm at Catch Pro. He's at TBL. And we are out of Timmy.
Oh, catch you later, Benny.
Nanky.
Coming in a hanky. Oh, yeah.
Go to your local dealer. Front mount deck.
I also fly aeroplanes.